So when he comes with that,
When
he comes with that one-handed push, I'm going to trap it, yield to it, turn my body sideways, and strike. I want, ideally, this knobby point on the outside of the wrist pointing straight up. And then I hit the lock just by leaning into it. I have this pinned firmly to my chest here. And so I just lean into that, and it's quite painful. Now I have a lot of options here. One would be to strike. I might sweep this arm. If I feel like this is in the way, I might sweep it out of the way and come in with my elbow there. Then come with a knee. I could adjust my position a little bit and reap this leg. So I just adjust my foot this way. See that? My foot goes here, then I come in with my knee, I reap that leg. Now from here I can strike the back of the neck, which is a finishing move, or I can bring his head through here. Now I have him right at my feet. I can come around to the inside, trap that arm right there, and then I can strike at will. He's got a knife here. I see the clip, so I would take that. I wouldn't let him keep that. I'm not saying I'll kill him with it, I would just take it from him. So I yield to that, I strike over the top, and I lean in for the lock. Now, I don't want to turn that too much. Right about here, you'll feel the tension on the joint increasing. Now, it'll still be there when the wrist goes vertical. But if I go past vertical, like if I say peel this off my chest, there it's gone. There's this point where the tension increases, 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 and then suddenly, boom, it's gone. If that happens, if he turns it all the way and I lose it, I can reach under and grip the pinky side of the hand, and now I have a corkscrew lock. And I can use that, and I can tear his shoulder with that, or I can go into other finishes with that. So if I accidentally over-rotate the wrist, I go into my corkscrew. So here, I hit that side wrist lock as I strike, and now I'm going to turn it over too much on purpose, but as I do, I'm going to lock out the elbow. So my hand is going to come right here to the upper arm, and as I over-rotate that, I lock the elbow. And now I just step back and I bring him down right here where he has no support. From here, I would come in and put this knee right on his shoulder and drive that shoulder down to the ground. So our heads are out of frame, I know, but that's because I want you to see what's going on by our feet. So here, boom. I lock that. I lock out the elbow. I bring him down. I come in with my knee right here. I'm locking the wrist with this hand. I'm applying pressure to the wrist right there. And when I squeeze between my knees, it locks the elbow. All I have to do is squeeze a tiny bit right here, and it locks out the elbow. So I'm pinning the shoulder to the ground, locking the wrist, and then squeezing to lock the elbow. Alternatively, here, I could come down to one knee, lay my arm alongside his, and let his arm wrap around mine. Now I have a hammer lock, basically a variation of the Kimura. Now to lock up the shoulder, I just lean toward his head while applying downward pressure on the shoulder with the blade of my hand, or with both my hands right here. So I could really destroy the shoulder right there if I wanted to, or if I just want to secure him. From there, I might take the arm with my other arm, so I can come out with this hand, take away his knife, check his pockets, then order him to give me his other hand. If he doesn't, I'll wrench that arm. Give me your other hand, sir, until he does, and then I handcuff him. Now, another option, if I'm back up here, would be to step over the arm with the inside foot, put the outside knee down on the ground. And then I'm going to take the arm and fold it along this side of my waist. It has to bend. So I let it bend. It's the same lock, but it's quite tight because it's extended. When this lock is extended away from the back, it gets very tight.
Right.
Then I just lean into it. And this is hands-free. That's the advantage of this.
Right.
This is very similar to what an MMA would be called an omoplata, which I think is Brazilian for shoulder lock. So here, I kick him in the face. Maybe I move this foot back,
Right.
and then I've got a nice hard kick Although a knee really works better. Grab onto the head perhaps. Here, come in with the knee. Boom. What if he rotates his arm the other way? So here, I go for my side wrist lock, but he turns his arm out that way. I catch the thumb here as his hand turns, and I go this way. Now I have an outward wrist lock or kotegaeshi, right? I keep it on my body. The wrist here is getting hit by that hand. As I rotate it that way, he punches me. So one thing I can do about that is I can slap the side of his neck, and that jams up his arm turn a little bit. See how that jams up the arm? But even if his arm is outside, and I slap the neck, right, that serves as a block, and then it aids my lock. So I've got the lock here, and I've got the head, and I use them both together, and I bring him down here. And then the simplest finish would just be to kick right here. So that's if he rotates the hand the other way. And to be able to get that with some alacrity, to do it easily, you have to practice those transitions from this lock to this family. So these are your inward locks and your outward locks. There are a number of locks on each side that come off of those movements, but they reverse to each other, right? So if I'm trying to apply one of the inward locks and he reverses to the outward lock, then I have that. If I'm trying to apply the outward lock and he reverses, then I have that. So it's worth practicing reversals from this to this. In many styles in Aikido and some styles in Japanese Jujitsu, you do these on yourself as a warm-up or a stretch, right? So you start with this, and then you go to this, right? You start with this, you go to this. And part of the purpose of that is to teach you to do it by feel without breaking contact. So you're here, and you simply turn, and now you're here. And you can go back, and you start to recognize how easy it is to reverse from one of these to the other, especially if the other person gives it to you. So he's putting on, say, the kotegaeshi or the outward lock. By turning this way, I give him the other one, okay? Or you can go, of course, right. So he went a little further. Right. So I turn this way, there you go. And then I turn back out the other way, and then I turn back this way, and then I turn the other way. So all he's doing is follow. Good. He got his chance to do something. All he's doing is following what I'm giving him. And what happens in those situations is the lock hits very hard because the other person gives you the energy for the lock because they're pushing it, right? So he's putting on, come over here. He's putting on the outward lock here, but I don't want that. So I twist hard this way, and he goes with it, and so it hits hard. But I don't want that, so I twist this way, and I give him the finish. You know, we have these lock flows we practice where we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. But that's not real life, that's just to practice the flow. In reality, you only need one transition. And if you fumble it, you go to something else. You don't do this. Okay, so I'm trying to put this one on. He twists out of it. Where is that? No. So I'm trying to put this on. He twists out of it. I miss my lock. I just go to something else. And then I find a new lock. This is how joint locks work in real life. They are techniques of opportunity. Back to the side wrist lock. What if he pushes and you weren't prepared and you think, oh darn, I learned a side wrist lock off of that move, but I didn't think of it. No, it's too late. You know what, he'll push you again. What? Yeah. He'll push you again if you give him the proper motivation. So he pushes me, I'm like, hey man, don't do that again. When what I really mean is do that again, please. All right, so that's your master class for the side wrist lock. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll make another video. Thank you, and thank you to BYRON.